Collision course. Earth versus the apocalypse asteroid. When we talk about the possibility of a collision between Earth and an asteroid, it's hard not to think of the extinction of the dinosaurs, about 66 million years ago. But imagine this time an asteroid 100 kilometers in diameter, heading towards Earth at a speed of 60,000 kilometers per hour. To give you an idea, this asteroid would be about 10 times larger than the one that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. The initial impact, immediate destruction. At the moment of impact, the asteroid would release a colossal amount of energy, equivalent to several billion times the power of the Hiroshima bomb. The kinetic energy of this celestial object would be such that it would create an impact crater several hundred kilometers in diameter, capable of instantly vaporizing massive amounts of rock. Global effects, a planetary shock wave. The shock wave resulting from the collision would cause earthquakes of a magnitude greater than 12 on the Richter scale, enough to fracture the Earth's crust over several thousand kilometers. The tsunamis generated by the impact would reach heights of several hundred meters, or even several kilometers for oceanic impacts, devastating the coasts of the entire planet. The shock wave winds, blowing at speeds greater than Mach 10, or more than 12,000 kilometers per hour, would raze everything in their path, creating forest fires on a global scale. The global night, the impact winter. The ejection of dust and debris into the atmosphere would create an opaque screen, blocking up to 90% of sunlight. Global temperatures would plummet by several tens of degrees, plunging the planet into a prolonged, nuclear winter. Photosynthesis would be severely disrupted, leading to the collapse of food chains and the massive death of plant and animal species. The destruction of ecosystems, the end of biodiversity. The oceans, acidified by the gases released during the impact, would become uninhabitable for most marine species. The soils, enriched with toxic elements, would be rendered unsuitable for cultivation. The Earth's biosphere would thus be severely damaged, and it would take thousands of years for it to begin to reconstitute itself. Long-term consequences. Humanity threatened with extinction. Even if part of humanity managed to survive the first hours of the catastrophe, living conditions on Earth would quickly become unsustainable. Famine, disease, and conflict over scarce resources would lead to massive depopulation. Civilization as we know it would collapse, and it is likely that the human species would eventually disappear. A plausible scenario, but avoidable? Although this scenario may seem alarming, it is important to note that scientists are actively working on the detection and characterization of near-Earth objects. Programs such as NEOWISE and ATLAS allow for constant monitoring of the sky and identification of potentially dangerous asteroids. If an object of this size were detected in time, it might be possible to implement deflection missions, using techniques such as kinetic impact or gravitational traction. The evocation of this type of scenario reminds us of the fragility of our civilization in the face of the forces of nature. It is therefore essential to continue research efforts in the field of planetary defense and to develop strategies for preparing for large-scale natural disasters. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and activate the bell to not miss any of our next topics.